The former Soviet state of Georgia will go to the polls on Saturday in a presidential election seen as a test of the country's commitment to democracy.
Well, President Mikhail Saakashvili is likely to win another term, but he'll also be trying to restore his image after sanctioning heavy-handed tactics against opposition supporters. Jonah Hull reports now on the final campaigning from the Georgian capital, Tbilisi.
New Year celebrations on the steps of Parliament, a scene far removed from the now infamous events of November the 7th that led to an early presidential poll. Then, 5 days of opposition protests outside Parliament ended with a police crackdown, the closure of an opposition-run TV station and a 9-day state of emergency. They call President Mikhail Saakashvili an autocrat. His free market reforms that have globalized Georgia's economy have failed, they say, to address the needs of ordinary people. The violence horrified Georgians, empowered the opposition and damaged the country's progressive economic and democratic image abroad.
These actions, especially when viewed from afar and especially when viewed on a television screen or whatnot, certainly are not pleasant and certainly could have alarmed a lot of people. But that is why we are constantly engaging in a dialogue, and that is why at this point in time the sole focus of the international community with regard to Georgia is on January the 5th and the conduct of the free and fair elections.
Not far from the capital, Tbilisi, is the city of Rustavi. Once a model of Soviet industrial might, today its factories lie abandoned, relics of a near-forgotten era. The population is poor, unemployment high. Around a quarter of all Georgians live below the poverty line.
There are a lot of problems. There are no jobs. I am unemployed myself, and I cannot find work.
What difference does it make? For me, the most important thing is to have work. Nothing else matters.
Most Georgians appreciate that things are better than they were. There is gas, electricity and roads. But low earnings and high prices mean the pace of day-to-day change is painfully slow. Saakashvili has urged patience. His campaign promises an end to poverty and accelerated social reforms. Polls suggest he is ahead of an opposition that makes similar promises, but remains divided in support of several candidates.
I will bring the changes for the ordinary people, so they will be much more peaceful, and there will be the changes in democratic ways.
The presidential poll falls between New Year and the Orthodox Christmas, a time when most Georgians would prefer to see this political crisis quickly resolved rather than deepen any further. At least that's Saakashvili's gamble. The Rose Revolution that Saakashvili led 5 years ago brought democratic freedoms and the hope of a better life to millions in what was then a failed post-Soviet state. He was hailed and courted by the West, his country rapidly drawn away from Russia's influence. But while the economy has surged, opposition has grown too. Saakashvili's gamble makes victory neither easy nor inevitable. Jonah Hull, Al Jazeera, Tbilisi, Georgia.